Welcome to the channel. Hit subscribe and dive into stories that'll stay with you long after the video ends. Let's begin. Rain hammered the city like a fist when I first saw the stranger standing alone in the middle of the street, singing, as if he didn't notice the storm swallowing everything around him. Cars crawled past with cautious wipers. Drivers stared, but no one stopped. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried a trembling thread of melody that pulled me closer without asking permission. Something in the way his shoulders shook made me slow my steps. It wasn't just the cold. It was something held too long, something breaking. When he lifted his face, the streetlight caught a shimmer beneath his eyes. Not tears, something stranger, something almost luminescent. I hadn't meant to approach him. I only wanted to listen for a moment. Maybe understand why a man with no coat, no bag, no umbrella, would sing a lullaby from another age in the middle of traffic. But then he turned toward me, breath fogging the air. "Do you hear it too?" he asked. His voice sounded older than his face, worn down like gravel beneath river water. I swallowed and nodded, though I wasn't sure what I was agreeing to. The melody still floated around us, even though his mouth had stopped moving. It was like the notes lingered on their own, circling him, waiting. He lowered his gaze to his hands. They were empty, yet he cupped them as if holding something fragile. "It won't stay quiet," he whispered. "I thought the rain might drown it out." The storm answered him with a sudden surge. Lightning flared behind the buildings, throwing jagged shadows across his face. For a moment I wondered if I should walk away, but his trembling deepened and something inside me felt caught the way a branch snags on a rushing current. "What won't?" I asked. He hesitated. Then he opened his hands wider, palms up. "The song," he said. "It belongs to someone else, not me." Traffic surged as the light changed. Horns echoed through puddles. The stranger flinched at the noise, stumbling back until his heel hit the curb. I reached out without thinking and steadied him. His clothes were soaked through, cold enough to bite my skin. "Why are you out here?" I asked. He blinked as if the question genuinely puzzled him. "I was waiting," he murmured. "Someone told me the street would decide." I didn't know what that meant, but the way he said it, soft, hopeful, afraid, tightened something in my chest. Then he looked past me suddenly, as though sensing something I couldn't see. He stepped closer, close enough that the rain between us felt like a thin, trembling veil. "If it chooses you," he said, "take it, please." I opened my mouth to ask what he meant, but he lifted one shaking finger, pointing toward the far end of the street. A figure stood there, watching us through the storm, unmoving, unafraid of the downpour. The stranger's breath hitched. The melody around him flickered like a candle fighting wind. "It's coming back," he whispered. "I can't hold it alone anymore." And before I could speak, the distant figure began walking toward us, step by slow step. The figure moved through the rain with a steady, deliberate rhythm, as if the storm parted for them rather than slowed them down. I felt the stranger beside me tense, every muscle drawn tight. His voice dropped to a tremor. It followed the song. I thought I could lose it in the noise. The streetlight above flickered, once, twice, then steadied again, casting the approaching figure in a pale, wavering glow. I stepped back, instinct pulling me away even as curiosity held me in place. "What is that?" I whispered. The stranger shook his head. "Not what, who? Someone who once had everything I have now and wants it back." The melody around him grew unsteady, vibrating like a wire pulled too tight. He pressed his palms to his ears, though the sound wasn't coming from outside. "It's inside my head," he said. "Inside my chest." Then he looked at me with a sudden, startling urgency. "Please, if it chooses you, you have to take the burden. I can't carry it anymore." I should have turned away. Any reasonable person would have walked off, called someone, done anything except stand in the rain with a trembling stranger and a looming silhouette approaching. But something in his voice, a kind of exhausted desperation, anchored me in place. Figure stopped 15 paces away, close enough for me to see the outline of their coat dripping water and a faint glimmer at their throat. A chain, or maybe a piece of metal catching the streetlight. The stranger stiffened. He whispered, "Don't look at them too long, that's how it starts." But I did look, and when I did, the figure raised one hand in a slow, deliberate gesture. Not waving, not threatening, something else, something like recognition. The stranger gasped sharply. As though struck, he doubled over, clutching his chest. "Hey," I reached for him, but he stumbled from my touch. "No," he rasped. "You don't understand. The song chooses on its own." The air around him seemed to tremble. The melody sharpened, notes twisting into something urgent, almost pleading. The figure took another step toward us. Water splashed around their boots. Their face remained hidden beneath the hood of a soaked jacket, but I felt their attention like a weight settling over my shoulders. The stranger's voice cracked. "I can't give it back to them, not after what it did." "What did it do?" I asked. His eyes flicked up to mine, eyes rimmed with a faint, unnatural shimmer. "It showed me truth, too much truth." Before I could ask more, he reached into his pocket with shaking fingers. For a second I thought he was pulling out a phone, but instead he held something small and metallic. A ring, silver, simple, but pulsing faintly as though echoing the rhythm of his heartbeat. He extended it toward me. "Take this," he whispered. "Please." My pulse thundered in my ears. The figure watching us remained motionless, but the pressure of their presence grew heavier, like the air thickening around a storm about to split open. "I don't even know you," I said. "You don't need to," he replied. "You only need to decide faster than I did." Lightning flashed again, illuminating the ring between us, and in that moment the faint glow inside it surged, casting a sharp, silvery light across our hands. The stranger flinched. The figure in the distance straightened, and the melody, the strange, lingering melody, rose around us with sudden, urgent force, as if something had just made its choice. The glow from the ring brightened, not blinding but piercing, like moonlight pressed into metal. The stranger recoiled from it as though it burned him. The figure down the street lifted their chin, sensing the change. The melody around us no longer drifted. It tightened, focused, as if zeroing in on a single target, me. I stepped back instinctively, hand half raised. "I didn't take it," I said. "I didn't choose anything." But the stranger shook his head, droplets flying from his hair. "Choice doesn't matter. The song moves to whoever stands closest when it stirs." He took a staggering breath. "It's moving." The melody swelled, soft but relentless, wrapping around my ribs like invisible fingers. Not painful, just heavy, present. I felt it hum at the base of my throat, a faint vibration traveling through my bones. The ring flickered again. The stranger saw my reaction and his eyes widened with sudden dread. "No, no, you can't let it in. Not unless you know what you're asking for." The figure stepped closer, splashing through the pooled rainwater. They removed their hood slowly, revealing a woman with sharp features and wet hair plastered to her cheeks. Her eyes locked on the stranger with a mixture of anger and longing. "You ran," she said softly. Her voice carried unnaturally well through the storm. "You stole it and you ran." The stranger backed away until his shoulders hit the brick wall behind him. "I didn't steal it," he whispered. "I saved myself." Her gaze shifted to me, then steady, unreadable, before returning to him. "You gave the song something to cling to. It wasn't meant to stay with you." The melody surged again. I felt a tickle in my ears, as if someone whispered words I almost understood. Almost. "What does it want?" I asked. Neither of them answered immediately. The silence between them stretched thin, tense. Finally, the woman spoke. "It wants to be carried past, held by someone who can bear what it reveals." The stranger shuddered. "I couldn't. I thought I could at first, but the truth kept coming, all at once, too heavy." "And you left me to drown in the quiet," she replied. Her tone wasn't cruel, just tired, utterly tired. She extended a hand toward the ring I still hadn't taken. "The burden was never meant for a single person. We were supposed to carry it together." The stranger's voice cracked. "I couldn't. It showed me things about myself I didn't want to see." The woman stepped closer. Rain streamed down her face, making her look carved from water and shadow. "You can't outrun it, not without consequences." The melody changed then, a subtle shift, low and pulsing, and I felt the vibration climb from my throat to my temples. I staggered. "What's happening to me?" The woman studied me with sudden, sharp attention. "It's choosing," she said quietly. "It's testing the echo in you." The stranger pushed off the wall, reaching for my arm. "Don't let it take root," he begged. "Once it anchors, you'll hear everything, you'll see everything, and you'll wish you never did." His fingers hovered inches from my sleeve, then froze. He jerked back as if struck by an unseen force, clutching his head. The melody pierced the air sharply, vibrating the puddles at our feet. The woman inhaled as though bracing for impact. "It started," she whispered, and the ring, still glowing in his outstretched hand, pulsed once more, syncing perfectly with the beat of my heart. The pulse in the ring quickened, a rhythmic throb that matched the pounding in my chest. The rain felt heavier, falling in thick sheets, as if the storm itself leaned closer to listen. The woman lifted her hand toward me, slow, deliberate, but she didn't touch. She studied me the way someone studies a locked door, trying to guess what waits behind it. "Tell me what you feel," she said quietly. I swallowed hard. It's like a sound inside my bones, but not loud, like someone humming from far away. The stranger shook his head violently. "No, no, it's drawing him in. You need to pull back now." His fear rippled through the air like static. He looked less like a man running from a mistake and more like someone haunted by one. The woman stepped between us, blocking his reach. "You pushed the song into him the moment you faltered. You had no right to pass it on out of panic." "I didn't," the stranger cried. "I never wanted anyone else involved. I just wanted the noise to stop." The melody tightened again, filling the narrow space between the three of us, and beneath it a whisper shaped itself, a single word I couldn't quite catch. The woman noticed my reaction instantly. Her eyes narrowed. "It's speaking to him already." The stranger's breath hitched. "No, he's not ready. It'll tear him apart." The woman turned sharply toward him. "Then help him, instead of collapsing every time the truth brushes against you." Her tone struck him like a slap. He staggered back but didn't look away from her. For the first time I saw something between them, not anger, not resentment, but shared exhaustion, shared history. The ring glowed brighter in my hand. I hadn't realized I was touching it. My fingers curled around the cool metal as if on their own. A shiver crawled up my spine. The street blurred at the edges, colors smearing like wet paint. I blinked hard, once, twice, and then just for a heartbeat the world fell silent. No rain, no thunder, no voices, only the melody clear as breath on glass. A vision flickered behind my eyes, a room filled with scattered letters, a woman crying over a broken photograph frame, a man standing outside a door he couldn't bring himself to open. Then the storm snapped back into place. I stumbled forward, gasping. The woman steadied me. Her hand was cold but grounding. "What did you see?" she asked. I don't know," I whispered. "Memories, but not mine." The stranger made a pained sound. "It's binding. You have seconds before it roots itself for good." His panic surged, but the woman didn't share it. Her expression softened just enough to be human. "Listen to me," she said. "You can still choose. You can give the ring back to him, or you can keep it. If you keep it, you'll carry the truth he ran from." The stranger reached out with trembling hands. "Please just hand it to me. I'll take it. I'll try again." But the melody inside me swelled, a rising tide of sound and meaning, and I felt the pull of it deep in my ribs. The woman's voice dropped to a murmur. "Whatever you decide, decide now." The storm roared. The ring brightened. My breath caught. And for one suspended moment, I realized the song was waiting for my answer. The ring rested in my palm, glowing like a trapped breath of light. The storm pressed in around us, heavy and waiting, as if the whole night held itself still. The melody inside me pulsed again, soft, insistent, alive. The stranger's hand hovered inches from mine. "Please," he whispered. His voice broke on the word. "I can't lose myself again. I can't let it show me more." The woman stepped closer, rain running down her cheeks like silver threads. "Then stop begging," she said quietly. "Stand up, face it. It was yours before it ever wanted him." "I'm not strong enough," he rasped. "You know I'm not." She didn't flinch. "You were, you can be again. But you keep turning away from the truth it gave you." The melody rose sharply, a single clear note, a warning. My breath caught as another vision hit me. A doorway. A child's bicycle overturned on a sunlit porch. A letter on a kitchen table unfinished. A promise never kept. I staggered. The woman grabbed my shoulder, steadying me. Her eyes held a strange tenderness. "What it shows you," she murmured, "are pieces of someone's breaking, pieces that need to be held, not escaped." The stranger shook his head again and again, as if trying to dislodge something painful. "I thought the song would fix what I ruined. I thought if I carried it long enough it would undo everything." "It can't undo," she said. "It only reveals." Lightning split the sky, throwing all three of us into sharp relief. The ring glimmered in my hand like a heartbeat made visible. I finally spoke. "What happens if I keep it?" The stranger shut his eyes. "You'll hear the truth meant for me. You'll carry memories that aren't yours, and it will change you." The woman's voice softened. "But you won't carry it alone, not like he did. You'd have us, both of us, if you choose that path." The melody swelled, a rising flood of sound and warmth, and for the first time it didn't feel frightening. It felt like someone reaching for my hand in the dark. I looked at the stranger. Water streaked down his face, but the shame in his eyes cut deeper than the rain. He wasn't just afraid of the song. He was afraid of facing what it revealed in him. "I won't take this from you," I said quietly, "but I won't leave you with it alone either." His eyes opened in a slow, trembling blink. "I don't understand." I lifted the ring between us. "You don't have to run from it, not this time, not if someone stands with you." The woman let out a soft breath, half relief, half sorrow. "Together," she said. "That was always the way it was meant to be." The melody released a single warm pulse, as if agreeing. The stranger hesitated, then placed his shaking hand beneath mine. The woman rested hers on top, 3 hands, 1 small ring, and the storm began to ease as though the night finally accepted our answer. The glow dimmed gently, settling like a quiet exhale, and in that moment the song no longer felt like a burden. It felt like a beginning. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and visit the channel for more real-life stories told just like this.